Hey guys, breaking up some sterling silver here. Weighted. Stuff comes in weighted and people think it's real silver, but it's just sheets of silver like tinfoil. Peel it with your fingers. The stuff is heavy, but the silver in there is light. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about today. I hope everybody out there is doing well. This is Nathan here at the Gold Cove, 25555 Gratiot. We are in Roseville, Michigan. That's just outside of Detroit. So if you are anywhere in the vicinity, drop in and visit us. Good things going on. I guess if I had to title my message, it is don't panic. Don't panic right now. There are precious metals have dipped pretty significantly. I would say silver, but did it really dip? It just kind of came back to this pre-last run-up. So it ran up to 88, 89. Things were looking good. People were feeling good. And now it's dropped down into the low 70s, creeping back up into the mid 70s, which really is where it was before we ran up to the high 80s. And so I don't know if you guys know this or not, but this is really what you bought into when you got into the precious metals game. We're going to stop there and start back up in a second. See, here's the thing. That's what happens. Gold and silver, they go up, they go down. I don't know. I hear people sometimes complain like, oh, so when it goes down, it's manipulated, but when it goes up, it's normal. And there might be something to that. Like, I think when it goes up, it's just the normal market pressures and maybe euphoria from the public, but I really don't think they move the needle much. Maybe it's euphoria from hedge funds. I don't know, but I do think it is manipulated down for sure. Then it's allowed to rise, then down, then rise, and that's how fortunes are made. Get with the program. You know, maybe be a trader on silver in a paper respect like that and have your separate stack and you just do how they do, right? But that is what happens. So long-term stackers like us, they really, they don't care. It goes down. That's natural. You just wait for it to go back up and you're always buying. I got to tell you today, I have a greater conviction. Now, this doesn't apply to everybody. I'm a simple investor. I'm not an investor. I'm more of a saver. And that's what gold and silver are meant to be, savings. But I have a greater conviction today that this is the place to park savings in the gold and silver because you look around and everything is so doggone uncertain except for the fact that our dollars are becoming worth less. And there are blaring signs for that, right? Just blaring signs. And so corrections are normal. If you got in early this year with the hype, I'm sorry, this is how things go. I'll tell you that my biggest customers year to date, it's the end of May, the guys that spent the most money with me year to date have disappeared in the last couple months. They were spending money at $80, $90, $100. Wealthy guys that are new to gold and silver. They're buying into the hype, the next thing, and that's what's happening. But today, now that they can get it for a little bit cheaper, they have disappeared. Hello. I think if you are like a smart money saver, you're not buying the hype. You're not buying into that. You're just steady saving gold and silver. And so you need to figure out, like, am I a stacker or am I a speculator? And I even hear people say, like, I'm in this for the long haul. I'm a holder. I'm a stacker for the long haul. They're gone now. They were a stacker for the long haul when it was 90. And now when it's 70, 75, they're not buying so much. And, I think if you get into this, we're like, how much money can I make in silver? It's going to go to 200, 300. You're in the wrong thing. I mean, you really should be like, I'm concerned about protecting my wealth, protecting my money. That's why I'm in it. This is not for everybody. And so, I'm seeing some people sell during a downturn. It'll go, let's say it's at 80, 88, 85. And then when it starts to come back down, some people will start to sell. And but the correction is good. It's a good thing. It kind of, I'm seeing like premiums start to normalize a little bit. We're still paying well under spot, but our premiums are super low. Some things we're selling at spot. Every week we're running specials. We ran a special at Silver Eagles $1 over. The week before we ran a special at 10-ounce bars $1 under. So the premiums have leveled out or even gone away. When we have corrections like this is kind of where you realize, like, am I a speculator or am I a stacker? And stackers are not going to create immense wealth from just that position of buying and holding. That's going to be created from just saving. Really, you're saving your money in gold and silver, and that's going to go up. So a lot of times we're looking at sentiment. Sentiment right now is kind of low, and but it should be and is normally like a contrarian indicator. And so when everybody's going crazy, like, oh my gosh, this is going so high. I heard about this from my cousin. He said I should buy some silver. When we talked about this right in the middle of it, that might be a good time to be like, I'm going to slow down my buying here. And right now where sentiment's kind of low, you might be like, all right, let me take a nibble. Honestly, from a year ago, silver is looking pretty high. But when I look at the economy, when I look at the use of silver around the world, when I look at the certainty of the US dollar really going maybe into a death spiral or a huge decline, that is a certainty. So, I think we just, there's no reason to have fear. If you're having a lot of fear, trepidation, and concern, you're probably in the wrong thing. You're probably into the wrong thing. So you just buy this stuff and you don't look at it every 2, 3, 4 hours on your phone or 3 times a day. You save it for when you're older and you're like, man, did I put up some good stuff when I was making money? And so one thing is certain is that currency debasement's happening. Inflation continues. And actually now we're hearing in the news that inflation's really on the rise. My wife and I, we went to Costco the other day and we shop the sales. We're conscious of that. We shop the sales, whatever they post that's on sale. And then there's 4, 5, 8 things that we buy every time we're there. Probably more like 15 or 20 things. Same things that we buy every time we're there. But I did notice just this week, like 3 or 4 of those items were considerably higher. $1 higher on a $10 or $12 item. And, that's percentage-wise, that's something. That's real inflation that we're seeing, like we talked about when gas prices went up. We said if gas stays up, things are going to have to inflate, right? Things cost more to get to market, to do all that stuff, and they're going to go up in price. Just like we know if the dollar continues to deflate, gold and silver are going to go up. This gold and silver thing, we're so inundated with like, I need things now. I need things to happen now. It's not going fast enough. And that's why the cryptocurrency was just such a big, huge deal. Now that's been stagnant for a little while. But the gold and silver is going to reward patience. It's going to reward patience. And if you're getting into it for a quick hit, then you probably should buy paper, gold and silver. That's okay. I heard it said that the volatility in silver, I think gold's more stable. The volatility in silver is the admission to play this, the cost of admission to play this game. And it is. You'll see it. If you're really riding on the edge of your seat, watching the silver prices go up and down, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. So continue to buy with your extra money or your savings. And I wouldn't let this get to you. This is just a bump on the road. Caleb, what do you got going? What are you thinking?
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Have you seen a lot more panic selling here in the shop?
Well, I got a short attention span too. So I'm going to say in the last couple of weeks, not really. But I have after that big drop, right? So people wrote it up and they can't sell. They're like, man, when it hits 100, I'm going to sell. And it hit 100 and they couldn't sell because it was going up too fast. And they're like, I'm not selling now. This would be crazy. So then when it did start to come back, and they were happy to sell at 80 or 90. And I would call that panic selling. Like, hey, I was wanting to sell when it was higher, but now that it's dropping down low, I'm going to sell because who knows, it's going to nothing. But I haven't seen that lately. No, I actually, with this dip, yesterday was our biggest selling day, like just organically. Sometimes I know maybe a dealer or somebody's coming in to stock up their store or something, or just not normal big deals, but just naturally the commerce that was flowing in our store yesterday, people coming in to do business. We sold a lot. I sold 4 or 5 ounces to one person, 2, 3 ounces to another person. This is gold. I think I had 5 or 6 different customers come in that bought 1 to 5 ounces each. And then we had the normal stuff where a guy buys 100 ounces of silver or 60 ounces. So we did have a lot of people coming in to buy. And those are your people that say, hey, it's dipped down a little bit. I've been wanting to buy, but it was racing up to 80, close to 90. Hold. Okay, now it went down 10, 12 bucks. Let me get some metal. And so that's the way you got to play it. That's it, guys. Have a great Memorial weekend's coming up. I was just thinking to myself, we used to those holiday weekends used to be like work weekends, project weekends. And I know for me, I've had a few of my adult children. One moved out. Caleb's on the verge of moving out. He's threatening it almost every weekend now. And so I got a few younger ones still at home, and gotten sensitive to, hey, let's make sure we spend the right amount of time with the kids before they're gone. So not a work weekend for us. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.
Thank you guys for watching our videos, subscribing to the channel, and liking our content. We are truly enjoying this journey on YouTube with all of you, and I hope you guys are as well. Be sure to be subscribed to the channel and notified on all of our content. And most importantly, buy precious metals, and don't forget to check out Cameron's whatnot called Gold Cove Cam on there. Things are going way too cheap. It's exciting. It's fun. I'm on there. Pop is on there. Cams is on there. And yeah, don't forget to, throw in some suggestions in the comments down below what you want to see. Or if you want to be on film, please also let us know. Take care, everyone. We appreciate y'all. Have a great day.